Hey folks, greetings from Costa Rica. Wanted to do a little tutorial video on how to make fresh coconut milk. I make this, maybe once a week here. I drink a lot of coconuts and they're prevalent and super cheap here. So typically coconut milk is made from the hard meat of mature coconuts. So this is very thick and very hard, and it comes from these brown coconuts that you can find in the stores in Asian markets and stuff in the States and in Canada, and it's very hard to get out the meat, but there's a special tool that that's a curved stainless steel tool that works really well to help you get the meat out. And you want to also, like when you get the white meat out, you want to shave off all of the brown stuff that'll be stuck to the underside of the meat that was on the inside of the shell. But you can also make coconut meat or milk from the meat of young coconuts, which are the green or yellow coconuts, and it's very soft meat. It's tender, and it comes from green coconuts, babies, which we call pipas here in Costa Rica, which means young coconut, not a mature brown coconut. And the water from these are sweeter, a little sweeter than the water from the mature coconuts, but the meat from the mature coconut makes a little bit more of a creamy milk. But both milks are super delicious, nutritious, and pretty easy to make. So the process that I do is I take about half a Vitamix container full of the meat, and then I fill up the rest of the container with fresh coconut water from pipas, and also the water from the brown coconuts if I'm using those. So this is fresh, pure coconut water. And so you take about half of the container full of the coconut meat, and then I fill up the container with coconut water. Instead of using spring water or normal water, if you use coconut water, your milk's going to be much richer and sweeter and more delicious. So I also like to sweeten the meat or the milk a little bit, and I add dates for that. So these are small dates. Typically if I use big mejoles, I'll use maybe 4 or 5 in the full container, but since these are smaller, and I'm going to use about 10. So we're going to put 7, 8, 9, 10, we'll put 11 dates in there. And I'm also going to use fresh vanilla bean. You can use powdered vanilla or vanilla extract, but since my friend grows these and I got these from his farm, it's much better, I think, to use fresh vanilla bean. So we're going to put a whole vanilla bean in there, and then we're going to blend this until it's creamy and smooth, and then we'll strain it through a nut milk bag. So we're going to blend this real quick, and you want to always start your Vitamix on variable and 1 and then kick it up to high. So we're going to blend this real quick. Squirting out, but you just want to blend it till it's super, you blend up all the meat and the dates and the vanilla. It smells really incredible. And so then you can take a nut milk bag, which is just a fine sifting bag, and you want to pour it into the nut milk bag. And then you can take and squeeze that. And what's left is considered coconut flour, and it's actually going to be very sweet because of the dates and the vanilla and tasty. And you can use that flour that I'll show you in just a second after I squeeze all the liquid out. You can use that to make raw cookies, raw breads. Whoops, I'm making a mess here, folks. It's kind of hard to get out of the bag sometimes, especially when so you just want to keep squeezing it and try not to squirt it all over yourself like I just did on the counter. But this is, the milk's a little brown because of the dates and the vanilla, more the vanilla I think than the dates. But it really is what makes it an amazing milk in my opinion. Whoa, there's actually a hole in this bag, as I just realized. So I may have to redo this with a different bag, because there's a hole in this bag that's where it was squirting out on me. And so some of the fiber came out, but I think it'll be alright actually. We'll just be a little more fibrous and have some of that in the milk. So you just want to squeeze and get all the goodness out, all the liquid, all the milk. And then what's left is, your milk, and then you have this coconut flour that you can utilize for recipes. You can dehydrate it if you want to store it longer. If you don't want to use it within the next few days, you can use it as is with it moist and put it in your fridge, and it'll keep a few days if you're going to make crackers or cookies or something with it. But if you want to preserve it and keep it to use at a later date, you can spread it out on a Teflex dehydrator sheet and dehydrate it for 4 to 6 hours and pull the moisture out, and then it'll keep for months actually. So here we go. So what we have left here is coconut milk. I'm going to pour some into a pitcher. Well, let me pour this coconut water in here. And then we're gonna pour this in here and give it a taste test and see what we got. I know it's gonna be super delicious. Wow, really good. Probably put a little too much vanilla. It's very strong vanilla. Could have probably used half of the vanilla bean, but it's still very delicious. I'll let my camera person, Eva, give it a taste test. What do you think?
Wow, super delicious.
So
creamy.
there we have it. Coconut milk, fresh coconut milk making 101, live from Costa Rica. Thanks, folks.